Europe wants greater access to British waters for fishing and cheap university fees in exchange for fewer trade barriers. Keir Starmer's Brexit reset plans were dealt a huge blow last night as EU countries demanded more concessions on fishing rights and free movement for under-30s. Diplomats are said to have rejected European Commission proposals to bridge gaps between the UK and EU ahead of a crunch summit in London on Monday. Europe wants greater access to British waters for fishing and cheap university fees in exchange for fewer trade barriers. One EU diplomat told the Financial Times, "We are all unhappy with missing progress, especially on youth mobility. And how the British demand wide-ranging concessions without offering anything in return. A draft EU proposal for resetting relations with London includes deeper links on security, energy and trade in agri-food products. But the UK will be forced to accept the role of the European Court of Justice in disputes. And Britain will have to make regular payments to the bloc for a veterinary deal," the Financial Times said. Sir Keir Starmer's government have been lobbying diplomats amid fears of a deadlock over an EU decision to impose a time limit on a deal to cut red tape for British food exporters in exchange for fishing rights. Supermarkets want a veterinary deal to make it easier to import and export food, fish and animals. Prime Minister Sir Keir and EU leaders have said they want to see closer defence and security cooperation, and both sides have also expressed interest in a youth mobility scheme and aligned farming standards. A deal on a youth mobility scheme, which will see immigration rise, is moving closer. It looks set to allow 18-30-year-olds to work, study or travel in each other's countries. But a diplomat said there are still disputes over fishing. Even landlocked member states are vocally supportive of the Commission in pushing for a hard link. Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch will today warn that Eurocrats have had a 10-year tantrum over Brexit, and accuse Sir Keir Starmer of forgetting that the UK has led European nations on issues like Ukraine, as she visits Brussels. The Tory leader's remarks at the International Democratic Union Forum, a conference of centre-right politicians from across the globe, comes before the UK-EU summit in London next week. Britain and the bloc will discuss closer trade alignment when they meet, after the government said it wanted to repair ties with the EU.